a lot of ways with business, in my opinion, ego is the enemy because it gives us too much confidence when we don't deserve it.
When did you start beating down your ego?
I mean, I've been trying to do it since I was 19. It's just been a very slow process. I just realized that it was the root of all the unhappiness that I had. And like everything that I had was in comparison to other people for no reason. And like, I've obviously adopted some perspectives we'll probably get into later, but that are contrarian in nature in terms of like how we live, but not just, there's no benefit to ego. There's just none. And then I have a different thing that I've been thinking about recently. I'm excited to share it with you.
Sure. Yeah.
So you've probably heard this, but there's a lot of evidence that points to, with mitochondrial DNA, that we go back to like one woman birthed, like the mitochondrial DNA of all humans tracks back to one woman, right? And so I think that that's interesting within the context of legacy, because people talk about legacy and they want to leave something for their progeny. And we love our sideways family members, right?
What do you mean?
Like like your
current family.
Yeah, exactly. But like, if we all came from the same mitochondrial DNA, right? Then we, not to be like weird and huggy lovey, but like
family members.
100%.
Yeah, of course.
I find that really fascinating. It's just like, it's like a super distant cousin. And
this is why when I met you for the first time.
Yeah.
What did I do when I met you?
Deep long hug.
Deep long hug.
Oh yeah.
And I do this with
It was a triple hug.
It was a triple because you broke it. You broke it. And I was like, nah, bring it in, bro.
And at the end,
and then you had to surrender. And there's a reason I do that is because.
That's the thing. I didn't know that was a thing.
I mean, that's just unless it's somewhere it's like maybe someone who's older that doesn't want to be hugged, or your wife. I'm going to give a quicker hug. I'm not going to be grabbing someone. Yeah. But it's it's a respectful, understanding the human being in front of you, doing your best to respect it. But with you, I knew I could just hug you, and it's going to make you uncomfortable.
Oh.
And it's going to make you uncomfortable. But for me, I don't know if I'm ever going to see you again. I don't know if I'm going to see you tomorrow or anyone tomorrow.
Totally.
And so why not embrace people with a 3 to 5, 10-second awkward hug?
Yeah.
And let people know that you really appreciate the moment.
And you're present. Yeah.
That's what I try to do. It's what I try to focus on. But, and if we're all distant cousins, then why not treat each other that way, the best way possible,
And I didn't mean to launch all the way there, because I'll go right back to ego. Yes. So I can scoot us back, otherwise we'll go in that direction. But yeah, so I think, because all this comparison is like, well, if I were comparing myself to a family member, would I feel the same way? And if all these people were on the same side as me because we're all family, would I still feel like I would? Because I've just tried to attack it from a logical perspective of like, how many different ways can I try and diffuse this bomb? And I think there's a lot of keys, and you just unlock tiny pieces of it, and you can just try, piece by piece. And I don't think anyone ever conquers it, but just hopefully I can over time
get better. And I used to be very competitive as well as an athlete. That's all I thought about was winning. It's like I had to win to feel like I was worthy, or I was good enough, or I was talented enough, and if I didn't win, then I wasn't reaching my goal of winning the championship or the prize or whatever it was. And I took that into business for many years, and I felt like I needed to compete with other people. And then it's funny, when I started this show almost 10 years ago, I was like, it can't be about me, it needs to be about collaboration. In order for this to really grow and scale and change lives and impact people, it can't just be the Lewis House show all day long. One, I'm not smart enough, I don't have all the answers. I'm not as talented as you. Shorter guys are way smarter, obviously. That's why you're so much more brilliant. And I was like, I got to bring on the smart people and create a safe space.
I can bring all the tall guys on, right? And I'll catch it, right? Like all my audience will get taller as a result.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing.
But it's funny because when I started to shift that, the ego goes back into still comparing and ranking and all these things. And I was like, okay, when I started to shift that, it's when the platform and the community started to expand, because I made it about shining the light on others. And doing my best to shine the light on others. And when you do that, or you shine the light on an idea or a mentor that taught you something, usually good things come back. So that's interesting. So when did you start to shed this ego mentality?
I mean, I started attacking it when I was 19.
19. And how old are you now?
32.
32, yeah.
And I think I have like 40% less ego than I did.
That's good, yeah. And how do you diminish the ego as you continue to scale and exit these big companies and build your brand and get more and more attention and known? How do you bring it back down to the humility?
I think it's linking the two. So it's trying to link these good things are happening because I'm decreasing this thing.
That's smart.
And so that way I can have a positive reinforcing association with the success that would normally amplify the wrong character traits.
Yeah. What do you think would happen if your ego was at the highest level right now?
I think a lot more people would not like it. I don't think the message would get across because, to be fair, I think the message would stop. The spread would happen much slower or not at all because the message would change. Because the message wouldn't be about the message; it would be about me. Mm-hmm. And I think that probably the reason that this has grown so much is because you've tried to quiet yourself in so that the message and the idea can spread to as many people as possible, and you put the message on the pedestal rather than Lewis on the pedestal.
Yeah, of course.
And I think your audience realizes.
Yeah.
Look at your bank account. Now look at mine. Now look at your bank account. Now back to mine. Sadly, it doesn't look like mine. But it could if you joined Skool. Come with me. Where are you? You're at a party, but not just any party, your party. And you get to decide who's invited. You can come in, my dear. You cannot. Give me a moment. And because it's your party, it can be free or it can be paid. It's up to you. And you're talking about whatever you want to talk about because it's your party. Learning and having fun. Fun! But don't believe me, look at these numbers. This is the real leaderboard from last month. And sure, I could talk about Bill, who's making $62,000 a month, helping people bookkeep better. Or Jamie, helping women invest, making $41,000 a month. But what about the average school community? Well, the average paid community makes $1,360 per month. How about them apples? What's that? The ticket to the thing that you've always wanted to go to. My headquarters here in Vegas. Become one of the top 10 communities and you can fly out. Look over there. The ticket is now a torch. No, it's an engagement ring to the business of your dreams so that you can marry it forever. Because 1 out of 2 businesses on Skool create money online. Anything is possible on Skool. Click the link to start for free.